I'm like, yeah, something ain't right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But good thing is, I happen at work and it's gonna be taken care of for free.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. That's
Yeah.
what's up, man. That's what's up.
And give me time to get on my grind, on my personal grind. You know what I mean? Sit down, relax. I got nothing but time to just get on my grind, bro.
Right. Um, they gave you do you got a certain time before you got to be back to work, or they was just like come back whenever you after you feel better?
To be honest, it's like whenever you can do light duty for real. But that's gonna be a couple months, so that'll be good.
Word. That's a
How
bet.
you? How you
I'm
holding up? How's your health?
I'm blessed, bro. I could be doing better on my my water consumption.
Yeah.
I wanna say I wanna hold off on that though, because I want us to talk about that in the show.
Bet,
Yeah.
bet, bet.
Let me see. 6:56. I'm gonna start it. Give me a second. Starting soon. All right, I'm gonna go quiet here for about 60 seconds, and then I'm gonna introduce, um, and then we'll be live.
All right, bet. Now go ahead. Okay. Yeah, my other phone.
Yeah, they know. They know. Yeah. LA, you know. Ow, 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 oh, 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 oh. Lay now. Traveling up and down the road, doing a couple different shows. Will I stop? Nobody knows. But I'm telling you now, the answer's no. Bright sunny day and the rims all black, yeah. Blue Lex coupe and the tints all black, yeah. Yeah, ain't no Don, he a pimpin' all that. Broad panties, I get into all that. LA and all. They see me and fall back. Me and all that, I got the key to all that. Young tune room with a boss hog, yeah. Be where I reside, and that's where I ball at. Let's go. Whatever you need, though, I can have a window. You chillin' with me, though, baby, she give me more. New coupe, got shawty, whether they need more. You love me, though, but that's right. Whatever you need, though, I can have a window. You chillin' with me, though, baby, she give me more. New coupe, got shawty, whether they need more. You love me, though, but that's right. That you want, they just don't come. Yeah, gotta chase after your dream. In the end, it'll mean more to me. Things that you want, they just don't come. Gotta chase after your dream. In the end, it'll mean more to me. They know. Whatever you need, I got. Hottest R&B on top. Plenty weed and Hennessy on rocks. Name a nigga hotter than me, girl, stop. When it's sitting foul, cut it off the pick and roll. I don't even want shot, hit it with the give and go.
Yes, 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 yes. We are back once again for another episode of Therapy Thursdays. It is your boy Faith, and we have a special guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. My dog, Devin Mickens in the building. What's going on, D Mick? How you doing, dog?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I cannot complain at all. Cannot
Yeah,
complain at all. I'm glad to see you, man. How you been, man? It's been
man,
a
I
minute.
can't complain. I can't complain. I'm blessed. I'm
Word.
good. I'm happy to be alive. You know what I mean? You're just happy to see another day. You know what I mean?
Word. That's what's
Think
up.
about think about a lot of people we done lost along the way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here.
Word. That's always good to hear, man. Always good to hear. So Devin and I, we went to school together. We went to Virginia State University together. Since then, Devin has branched off and became a father, an entrepreneur, a globetrotter, and he is also a vegan. You are plant-based, is that correct?
Yeah, plant based. I
Okay,
just say
so
plant.
plant-based. Okay, so what is the okay, I've always had questions around it. And I'm sure some of our viewers also have questions around it. What is because there's a difference between being a vegan and being plant-based. Is that right?
Yeah, so vegans. I say vegan or I say plant-based, just depending on who I'm speaking with. Just basically, I just want, if people ask me, I just pretty much eat all plants at all times. You know what I mean? But there's some specifications that vegans, like true vegans, take it to the next level, like honey. I still eat honey. You know what I mean? And my perspective on the honey thing is it's made by bees. I'm not necessarily eating the bees. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uh, so, but true vegans don't do honey. You know what I mean? So I just say plant based to let you understand that pretty much all my diet is based off of plants. Most of it, 95, 99%, whatever percent you want to put it on. It's plant based.
Okay. All right. Another question leading to that, I want to know how. First, two things. It's a two-part question. For one, what even got you interested in that lifestyle? And for two, how was that transition? Because you were eating chicken, beef, all before all of that. So for one, how was that transition? And for two, what got you even thinking about that lifestyle?
And to be honest, prior to going vegan, man, my diet was pretty poor. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would go to the dollar store and get the chicken nuggets and the dollar sticks at the Dollar Tree, the
Mm-hmm.
freezer section. You know, I wasn't eating to thrive. I was eating to survive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just getting food in, not necessarily getting nutrition. So I was around 25 and I went to the doctor for a prescription. I would have got, I mean, let me back up. I went to the doctor for a physical
Mm-hmm.
because I had heartburn and GERD pretty bad. You know what I mean? It felt like somebody was trying to, it just felt awkward. I never felt settled. You know what I mean? Um, so the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, we got prescriptions for that." I'm like, "Cool. How long that's gonna be?" He was like, "Forever." I'm like, "No way. I'm 25." You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no way. There's no way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So thankfully, I had a little base when it came to nutrition from college. You know what I mean? I had a base, so I was like, there is a way that I can heal it. You know what I'm saying? Or at least have some type of remedy to have an everyday normal life. You know what I'm saying? So I sat down. I came to my house that day and I prayed, but it wasn't even like it was a different type of prayer. I didn't pray to no one specific. I was just like, yo, I just want answers. You know what I
Right.
mean? Whatever that is, I need it.
Right.
So I just put that energy out there, unbeknownst to me. I didn't even know about the power of the thoughts at the time or any of that. So I just put them vibes out there, and the next day I came across a book called Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About.
Okay.
Mind you, prior to that, reading that wasn't even in the picture. I'm
Right.
not reading just for, for leisure. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I ran through that book in about a week,
Okay.
and it happened at the perfect time because at this time I was teaching in DC, and I had the summer break off, so I had nothing else to do but to just read
Read.
or waste time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I read the book in about a week, and I came across some natural cures to just fix yourself. It was so much information in that book. It changed my outlook on life, right?
Right.
So, like I told you, the dollar store, I was going to the dollar store, maybe spending $20 cashing out.
Right.
And then after the book, I seen so much information and it changed my perspective on nutrition. You know what I mean? So that next week I went to a health food store, which I had never been to. And I didn't even know it existed, but I looked it up, went to the health food store and I spent $200
Mm-hmm.
the next day. And I was like, yo, this is crazy to spend $200 in the grocery store by myself.
Right.
The lady was like, you know what, we're gonna give you a special bag because nobody spends $200 with us. I'm like, oh, okay. They gave me a bag and everything. I went home the next day and I implemented everything that I learned in the book. I'm talking about I bought calcium pills. I just bought all whole food supplements. I bought salmon, like organic salmon, and then I just ate vegetables. And you know what? The more I dive deeper into nutrition, I realized that plants, um, they have a whole bunch of phytonutrients that we don't even really fully understand. Just when I mean phytonutrients, it has things that can heal your body. And if you just normally eat how we were supposed to eat, you wouldn't have to worry about the nutritional benefits or the medicinal benefits. It would just automatically be implemented in your diet.
Right.
So a week of that pretty much salmon and vegetables, I decided to take the meat out. I said, let me just see if I can take it to the top level.
Right.
I took the meat out, and then after that 2 week period of 1 week with meat and just vegetables, and then the second week of pure vegetables, my heartburn was gone.
Hmm.
And it was crazy because I noticed other benefits. You know, my skin started to clear up without me having to use products on my skin. Headaches. I used to get headaches every now and then. To be honest, I don't get a headache now unless I'm dehydrated, and I know it's coming because I can see it when I use the restroom. To be honest, you know what I mean. I'm just dehydrated.
Right.
I go throw back some water and I'm back in an hour.
Uh-huh.
So it's just little simple things like that that now I have that connection with what I eat. I can tell what I ate, if it was beneficial or not, and if I need to go back and eat it or not. I can tell instantly because I have that connection. I know what it feels like to feel good.
Right.
I know what it feels like to have energy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So prior to that, you know, I'll eat a meal and you get that itis or that lethargic feeling right after the meal, right? But once you eat plant-based, man, I get a boost.
Mm-hmm.
I, I don't. The people ask me, do you drink coffee? I don't need it.
Right.
I get a smoothie. And I'm back.
Right.
Superfood smoothie, and I'm good to go. So I think did I answer your two-part question?
Yes. You answer both.
All right,
You
cool.
answer both questions. Yeah. You answer both
I just want to
questions.
make. I start rambling at the end.
No, you good. When you get your smoothies, what do you get in your smoothies?
So I got this. I came across this guy. It's called Tonic Alchemy. I came across it and it has 91 superfoods in it, and it's like a green powder that has 91 superfoods in it. And let me back up. So superfoods are pretty much foods that pretty much balance you out or get you at homeostasis, whatever that is. So like if your adrenals are overactive or your immune system is overactive, it'll bring it back down. Or if it's not active enough, it'll bring it up. So it's like 91 superfoods with beneficial uh, phytonutrients that'll get your body to homeostasis pretty much, right? So that's my base. Two
Mm-hmm.
scoops of that. And then I throw in this mixed berries that I get from Costco because you can get a big amount for a nice price.
Right.
I throw that mixed berries in there, and the mixed berries have strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. And then on top of that, I might throw some orange juice from Whole Foods, freshly squeezed.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to make it sweet for my son, I throw in a little agave just to make it just a little sweeter,
Mm-hmm.
and a banana, blend it up, and we good.
Good to go. Okay.
We good.
All
We
right.
good.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
definitely I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna put that in the chat. You told me a few things. What was the name of that book that you said you read that changed your life?
It was called Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About by Kevin Trudeau.
Natural cures they don't want you to know about. Chat, the name of the book is in the chat. Y'all can go Google it and look at that book. He said this book changed
Yeah.
his outlook on the food that he puts in his body. I have a lot of questions, man. I don't even know where to start. One being the fact that I have sickle cell, right?
Uh-huh.
And there is no cure for sickle cell currently.
Yeah.
But I have heard of people getting cured of sickle cell.
Yeah.
I've been told about an alkaline vegan diet, which I
Mhm.
have not done research on.
Okay.
I've been told about plant-based, which you
Yeah.
do. And I am at this point in my life where I am ready to make a change.
Okay.
I'm ready to make a change. I'm ready to make a healthy change. The one part that I do struggle with being a sickle cell survivor is my water consumption. How much water do you drink on a daily basis?
So I got a clean canteen that I got purchased, and it has 64 ounces in it. And my goal is to at least finish that every day.
Okay. So
So that's a half a gallon.
okay. So a half a gallon of water every day. Okay. So
But
when you change, when you changed your diet and you
Yeah.
implemented that water, did you change the diet and implement the water at the same time, or was the diet first and then the water came second, or?
So to be honest, it was a progression. You know what I mean? So I started with the diet, and then the further I dove into the nutrition and the holistic lifestyle, because I say plant based, but I do a whole lot of holistic everything to just improve my overall outlook on life altogether.
Right.
So started with the diet, and then I started researching water and how water has memory, and how you can make alkaline water. So I make my alkaline water at my house. Um, and how I bought this specific filter that not only cleans the water, but it pretty much takes out. So what? Let me back that up. So what I do is I go to Whole Foods and I get the distilled water, or I get the reverse osmosis water. So basically, these waters are pretty much fluoride and chlorine free water.
Mm-hmm.
So the chloride and fluorine, they have been told, or they've been researched. There's research out there that says that there are some negative um, benefit or negative results of these chloride and fluorine. One of them is your pineal gland. They say they calcify or weaken the pineal gland. Um, so I just started researching the water, and then there's some research out there about pharmaceuticals that's left in our tap water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's how it's having an effect on our girls maturing a lot faster than they're supposed to because of the pharmaceuticals. Because you can't, by the time it hits our water, the cleaning system or the way that we filtrate our water can't get all of those minute particles out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you have to have a certain process to get those out. So I take it and I got my filter at home. I think I paid $70 for the filter. And at that point, it turns the acidic water into alkaline.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it adds positive vibrations into the water. So everything moves off of vibrations, right? Our vocal cords is a vibration, right? In order for me to think, I have to, my brain waves have to vibrate at a certain frequency, right? So everything is vibration. So this water, it pretty much adds positive vibrations to the water to, like, once again bring your body back to homeostasis. You know what I mean? Just getting everything back balanced. So it's alkaline. It has positive vibrations in it, and then it's also pretty much free of those normal contaminants that you find in everyday faucet water. And I put a video on my Instagram showing you the different alkaline or pH for each water system, right? So I did it with distilled, faucet, and then what comes out of my filtration system.
Okay.
So that's the water I put in my smoothies. That's the water I drink. At some point, I'm gonna get the home filter on my house, so that way when I take my bath or my showers, that's the water that goes on my body. You know what I mean? Because your skin absorbs a lot of it absorbs a lot of things that you pretty much put on it. So I don't put anything on my skin that I wouldn't eat,
Okay.
or it's not edible.
Okay. So that's good to know because when I do drink water, I fill up a cup and
Uh-huh.
I just go to the faucet and cut it on. I put some ice
Uh-huh.
in the cup. So the faucet water basically is what you're saying. It's not good for you.
I'm saying there's levels.
It's
It's not
okay.
ideal. It's
Right.
not ideal. If you
Right.
want to get the best, then I would go that route. To be honest, it's better than soda. It's better than Kool-Aid.
Right.
It's better than these drinks that you're gonna get at your everyday corner store. So if you gotta go with an option, go with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's free. It's right there. Go with it.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or think about the water that you purchase when you go to the store, like Aquafina. I mean, Aquafina. I said Aquafina. Aquafina. I
Uh-huh.
don't even know. I don't even buy the water no more. Dasani and all those things.
Uh-huh.
Um, that's pretty much faucet water. You know what I mean? But then you have your artesian waters. If you look on the labels, like your Fiji. When I was in Hawaii, Hawaii had their own water. Um, what else? Um, Avion. What's the Avion? What's the one with the pink top?
I don't know. I don't drink bottled water. I couldn't tell you. I
If
just
you
know
look
about the big brands.
if you look and you see artesian water, that water is that bottled water is pretty much better than your normal bottled waters. So it's just levels. Just basically get the water in you. If you're not drinking water at all, it's better than the other options. You know what I mean? I'm not
Right,
saying it's bad for you.
right,
It's just not optimal. You know what I
right.
mean?
Got you. I understand that part because I do. I had got to a point in my life where I was trying to. I caught myself explaining the different levels of water to someone.
Yeah,
They had asked me if I wanted a bottle of Deer Park water, and
yeah,
I was at a point in my life where I wasn't drinking Deer Park no, water anymore. I had already passed that stage, right?
yeah, yeah,
So you go. I went from tap faucet water to Deer Park water, which is horrible in my opinion. I don't drink it anymore. And then you
yeah.
got your Fiji, which I was never really a fan of. But the my favorite water that I love the most is Voss. You
Okay.
drink you have
Yeah,
you have Voss
yeah.
before?
Yeah,
Uh,
Bad Boss. That's one of those top tier bottled waters for sure.
okay. All right. That okay. Okay.
Most of the time you get Vosses in the glass, right? The
Yeah.
glass cylinder, right?
It's in the cylinder,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about those plastics in your water. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's little stuff like that that goes a long way.
Okay. All right. Okay. Definitely. Definitely duly noted. Duly noted. Chat. Once again, while we are talking, if you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to put them in the chat and I will ask him if you have any questions about anything. um, so like I said, I have a bunch of things to talk about. I don't even know where to start. Entrepreneur,
Yeah.
tell the people about your business and exactly what you do.
So my main business is my photography, and it just came about. I was just, to be honest, it started maybe 7 years ago. Um, I normally go to Best Buy and waste my money. I might get a PlayStation, you know what I mean, or do something like that. Not saying it's a waste, but it's nothing that's going to basically bring some type of benefit or income to me. Not at that point, because we didn't have Twitch, we didn't have those platforms that allow you to make money off of
Right,
gaming. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, because there's definitely big money in it.
right,
But at the time, I needed a resource that was going to allow me to better myself and something I can learn and something I could take out and be artistic with. You know what I mean?
right.
So I bought a little $600 camera. I'm like, yo, this is an expensive camera, but at the time, it just gave me those basic skills to learn. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved out to Hawaii, and I had the pretty scenery every day. So I picked up drone, and I was gonna do the same thing. I was about to buy another PlayStation. I was like, no, I just go buy you a drone. You know what I mean? So I learned the videography, the aerial photography, and then maybe about 3 years ago, I decided I was good enough that I could charge. You know what I mean?
Right.
That my quality, like I felt like I practiced enough that I felt like I can give you a good enough return for some monetary value. You know what I mean?
That's a beautiful feeling right there.
Yeah, yeah. I, what the crazy thing about it was the freedom that you get. You know what I mean? I can go to work and work hard and make $35 that hour,
Right,
or I can go to work and skate by and I'm still gonna make that $35 an hour, right?
right,
But I can go hard on my photography and build up my skills, and I can charge an unlimited amount, whatever I want to charge, or whatever you feel like you're going to get in that session. You know what I mean?
right.
So sky's the limit. The harder I go and the more I perfect myself, then that hour becomes completely different.
Okay. So you book so all of your sessions are you book them in 1 hour increments?
It just depends on the session. You know what I mean? It can be a wedding. Most likely a wedding is not going to be an hour. You know what I mean? It
Right.
just depends on how long you need me for your wedding, how long you need, or what you're looking for in your session. You know what I mean? So like you can do 3 or 4 outfit changes, and that's gonna be an hour just changing. You know what I mean? So it
Right.
just depends on what you're looking for. I just said that based off the hour of how I was looking at money or how I was looking at business prior to just running my own. You know what I mean?
Right. So
I was
you
limited. I was capped out in the amount of money I could make in
right.
that 8 hours.
Exactly. So you have your own business. Do you have a website?
I do. My
What's your
website,
website?
devinmickensphotography.com. Um,
DevinMickensPhotography.com, chat. Go ahead.
yep. So that was a process too, just taking the artwork and putting it into a platform that people can just tangibly see and touch or whatever you want to call it. Just reach out.
Right.
Just you know how it is when you got some art, you're sensitive about it. I never understood it when Lauryn Hill said it as a kid, but you know, once you get anything like a flyer that you make today, like you look at it like 50 times, like, is this good enough? You know what I mean?
Right.
Before you put it out here, like how do people gonna receive it? You know what I mean? So
Right.
having that website and just putting that out there, that was a process in itself. You know what I mean?
Right. I look at all my brothers, whether it be from school, back home in the hood, whether I met you off a whim, and not everybody, but a lot of people who I grew up with that were a part of my life at some point or another. A lot of them are in this phase right now where everyone is seems to be growing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that growth comes knowledge. Can you explain to people how knowledge has helped you grow into the person that you are today? Right. So, and I say that in a sense of, so I'm one of those guys who I don't like reading either.
Yeah.
Not books. I don't like
Yeah.
reading hardback books. I sit
Yeah.
at my computer and I'll read articles all day long digitally. But a
Yeah.
hardback book is something about it that I can't do, right? But when I'm up here and that's the first thing I do every morning. I come down and I learn something new, right? Can you
Yeah.
explain the importance of knowledge? The importance of, because when you first started off, when you were on this journey to change your diet, you didn't
Yeah.
know anything, right?
Yeah.
So you had
I
to
didn't know what
learn.
I didn't know.
You didn't know
Yeah.
what you didn't know, but you had to
Yeah.
learn all of this. And on
Yeah.
this path of growing your business, becoming vegan, being a father, being
A
uh,
husband.
a husband, all of these different facets of life. You're juggling all of these different facets. How does the knowledge part, because there's a process for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own process of how they learn. How did that
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
you? And how was
So
it? Go ahead.
that's a two-part answer, right? So let me answer the first part, right? So right around the same time that I became vegan, right? I seen this I don't like to use the word black, um African American, whatever you want to call it, the indigenous American. I seen this man and he had the Eye of Horus tatted on him, right? And I was like, "Were you with the Illuminati?" And he laughed, but he chuckled like, "You just don't know what you don't know." Like
Right.
young fella. We the same age, but he hit me with the you don't know nothing. But so
Right.
so he schooled me. He was like, "No, this the half horse. This is so you don't know who you are, so you don't know where you're going." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that got me into the whole thing. Like, bro, this rabbit hole gets deeper. I don't know what I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when we go into that second part of the answer, there's 4 stages of learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning, you unconsciously unconscious, right? You don't know what you don't know, right? A baby's first born, they have no concept of walking, right? They don't know anything about it.
Right.
Then you become unconsciously conscious, right? So you know what you don't know. So that baby sees his parents walking around, they're like, oh, they're walking. I know I don't know how to do that, but I want to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to that third stage where you consciously conscious, right? Now I know what I know. I'm walking, but I got to think about it. Like, let me take this right foot, left foot. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I'm thinking about it every day.
Right.
And then when I think when you say knowledge, I think about to the point where you get unconsciously conscious. I don't think about it. I don't think about walking. I just go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then once you really understand something and you really got that knowledge, it becomes second nature. Driving. When you first learn how to drive, you got to think about it. You study, first of all, you know you want to drive. You
Right.
learn that. Then you study for the test.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you're driving, you're nervous. Oh, let me put my blinkers on. how do I get here? Make a right here, make a left here. Sometimes I drive to work. At this point, I don't even remember driving. I just did it
You just
automatic,
yeah,
unconscious. You know what I
right.
mean? So it's those 4 levels, right? And then what happened was I got addicted to learning, which was crazy. I would read every day, and I never liked it, but I think it was the fact that I was being made to read stuff that had no impact on my life, right? So when you're in school, you're reading stuff about people that has nothing to do with you, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
just knowledge that you're going to throw away as soon as you pass that test.
Right.
I got to the point where everything that I was learning was impacting me every day. You know what I mean? And it became addictive. So it became so addictive to the point where I researched programs or college certificates that I could get for free. So at one point, I was working at night and I was studying at Harvard online for free,
Mm-hmm.
taking Harvard classes on nutrition, just because I wanted to learn more. You know what I mean? I
Right.
had a little notebook. This lady I was teaching, when I was teaching, the Spanish teacher bought me a diary. I'm like, I don't want no diary. That's soft. You know what I mean? But the diary came in handy. I'm taking notes in my diary.
Right.
Now I go back from 6 years ago, and I'm like, bro, this ain't even my writing. Like, what consciousness level was I on at the time when I was writing this?
Right.
Right. And I go back, and then at the time it felt new, but now it's so second nature. Um, it's crazy. So I said all that to say, man, I felt like knowledge opened doors for me. You know what I mean? It made me look at life differently. My friends were saying, bro, you changed overnight. Like this, you ain't the same Mick. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how you do that? I was like, bro, I can't even tell you. But now I looking back at it, it was just that knowledge. Once you learn something and then you know better, at that point you can't go back. You can't change. I mean,
Right.
you gotta change. You gotta adapt.
Right. Exactly. Um that's crazy, man. That's crazy. And I like the fact that everybody is growing. I had a to piggyback off of what you said. I was talking to my boy maybe 2 days ago
Yeah.
about the whole you said you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him 2 days ago. We were talking about stocks because I told him that I wanted to get him on the show for Stock
Yeah.
Market Sundays. And he told me that in 2013, he bought a ton of shares of Tesla in 2013, right?
Uh-huh.
He bought them for $150 per share.
Mm.
And he was just like, do the math on that. Because
Yeah.
currently I believe it's at, I think I checked my stock one time today. I think it's at 1623 last time I checked it. $1,600 a share, right? And he
Yeah.
bought
Last
it
time
at
I checked.
150, right?
Yeah.
So he was asking me, and I was telling him in 2013, I wasn't even thinking about stocks.
Yeah.
You don't know
Yeah.
what you don't know. I didn't even know
Yeah.
stocks existed in
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing music and I was doing this and trying to get on here and trying to get on there. Like you said, you
Yeah.
don't know what you don't know. And the reason that I'm doing the Stock Market Sunday shows and the reason that I'm doing the Therapy Thursday shows is to bring awareness to our people
Yeah.
because it's a lot of shit that our people just don't know. They just
Yeah.
don't know. And a lot of people, some people care enough to do the work to go and find and seek the information to
Mm-hmm.
want to become a better person. Some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
I feel as if I have been put on this earth for a reason, and it's to give back. You know,
Yeah.
after God blesses you abundantly and gives
Mm-hmm.
you everything that you ask for, like you have to give back, you
For
know.
sure. For
Um
sure.
and I feel like this is me, this is us giving back to the people and letting them know how important it is to on the food consumption that you put in your body. I was uh we went to school with Brittany. Brittany's a
Yeah.
vegan also. You know
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
remember
For
Brittany,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
She she's a vegan also, and
Yeah.
like she was trying to like she tags me in little stuff here and there on Instagram and about these remedies and this can help me and that can help me. And it's like for me, what would you say to the people out there who like myself who want to take that next step? They want to become a better person, they want to start eating healthier, but they don't know where to start. And I think the biggest problem is the protein
Yeah.
because people don't want to give up their chicken. They don't want to give up their beef, the
Yeah.
bacon. What can you give us like some examples of protein substitutes that are
Okay.
not that don't consider beans?
Got you. Got you. So first thing is Brittany has a book out. I think we came out with our book the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know how much her book is, but my book is free. So I'll give you the link for that. I'll give you the people can reach out to me. I'll give you my email as well. They can reach out to me and I'll send them my book. And it's just a guide. It's not a long read. It's like 14 pages. 6 of them might be pictures. It's just something for you. It's just a quick guide, no fluff, just to give you some information on how to get started, right?
Right.
It talks about the water, it talks about working out. There's a small meal plan in there and everything. And it's not just a strictly vegan meal plan. It's a meal plan that just get you started on eating non-processed foods, right?
Right.
And that's the key. You got to get started with getting rid of those processed foods as much as possible, right?
Right. For sure.
Um, but if you think about meat alternatives, right? You're in Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I came to Atlanta the first time, I had Slutty Vegan. Have you ever heard of Slutty Vegan?
I've had slutty vegan. Yes, I have.
Slutty Vegan is great. Like
R-
you wouldn't even know. I
Right.
mean, I haven't had meat in a long time. So, but to me, it tastes very similar. What you think, in your
I
perspective?
I couldn't tell the difference.
You can't,
Couldn't
right?
tell the
So
difference at all.
you got the Impossible Burger, and then in the Impossible Burger, what they figured out was there's a specific um, cell that has that meat flavor, a plant-based cell that has that meat flavor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they figured out how to make it into a patty, and it tastes and like it cooks the same. Like it's crazy.
Right.
So when I first started, I had these alternatives. So like when I first started, man, my meals consisted of smoothies. Me and my wife, we made salads every day with homemade dressing. Um, what else? I used to take steamed broccoli and throw like coconut oil and onions on it with some teriyaki sauce. Like I made everything from scratch
Right.
just because we didn't have those alternatives. And then I didn't have a son, so I had plenty of free time. You know what I
Right.
mean? But now you have all these alternatives, the Possible Burgers, they got hemp. They call it tofu, the hemp tofu, where basically they got like meat taco alternatives. You know what I mean?
Right.
So at Whole Foods, they pretty much have a whole section of meat alternatives where you can get whatever you're looking for. They got taco crumble, they got chicken. I don't really like the chicken texture, but they got a chicken. They got a fake chicken as well.
Right.
And yeah, the Possible Burger. What's the other burger they got? I can't think of the name of it right now, but there are meat alternatives at the at any Whole Foods or any plant based or not even plant based, but any health food store. They do have a lot of those meat alternatives that you're looking for. But the thing about the protein, right, is think about it like this, right? Some of the biggest, well, most biggest animals that you see are 95% plant based, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look at a horse, you look at a gorilla, you look
Mm-hmm.
at the whales, right?
Yep.
They, they're getting plenty of plant protein because I get this question all the time is, um, where do you get your protein, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when you eat an animal, most likely you're eating a plant-based eater, right?
Right.
Most of the time we're not eating alligator. People do eat alligator, right?
Right.
But for the most part, we're not eating alligator. We're not eating uh, fox or you know what I mean. We're not.
Right.
What you're trying to do is you're getting plants from a secondary source.
Right.
You're eating the plant-based eaters, right? So you're gonna get your protein. Like every plant has protein in it, and this protein that you get from the plants is more readily assimilated by your body because it can break it down better because it understands it.
Right.
You know what I mean? The human body cell and the plant-based body cell are very similar when it comes to how our body is able to assimilate it or basically make it part of our own genetic makeup. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's how I try to explain it to people as much as possible. Man, if you're worried about protein, if you eat as much plants or fruits and vegetables as you want, you won't have a protein issue. You wouldn't have an issue of putting on weight or maintaining muscle mass or whatever, because the plants that you eat will be assimilated. It won't be wasted. You know what I'm saying? If you think about like people that take all those protein shakes, a lot of that stuff is wasted. Your body can't even assimilate all that and just excrete it as quickly as possible.
Right.
If you think about it like this, right? Humans are the only animals on the planet that cooks. If you're eating a diet where some people do eat raw meats, right? You know, we got the sushis, and I actually saw this lady the other day on the internet that was eating like raw steak straight out of the
Straight
Whole
out the
Food section.
pack.
Yeah, out the pack. And at first it was gross, but I thought about it, I'm like, that's pretty much how you're supposed to eat it, right? If most people ain't gonna make a meat smoothie, right? Because
Right.
it just don't sound right. But when you eat how you're supposed to, the closer you get back to nature, the more you realize that you live more optimally. I think over time we got to convenience, right? The TV dinners and things like that, and I believe that's when our health started to decrease, right?
Right.
You're getting food that's, even if, for example, when I lived in Hawaii, man, we got fresh fruits and vegetables every 2 days, bro. Like everything was local, everything was fresh, and that was in the best health ever then.
Right.
You know what I mean? I knew the salad that I ate came from the island. It was cut maybe a day or two ago. You know what I mean? We
Right.
had a relationship. We went to the farmers markets. We had a relationship with the farmer. Like the lady kind of like knew us. Like we would come and she was like, hey, we got this today. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And at one point we had a mango tree and an avocado tree in front of our house. So like we would come home, 2 or 3 would drop, go and pick them up. We got our avocados and mangoes fresh.
That's
Mhm.
beautiful right there, man. That's see that's where that's the point that I plan on getting to. Like that's the goal.
Yeah,
I want to be able to get there.
yeah,
Um I think the hardest part for me, which is probably the hardest part for a lot of people, is just getting started, man. Just like
yeah,
anything else you do in this world, even when like with this whole computer stuff, I wasn't doing computers my entire life. I wasn't into
yeah,
computers and computer video
yeah,
games when we were in college and stuff like that. I had to just go and buy a computer and download software, and you just got to
yeah,
sit in front of it and just fuck with it all
yeah,
day long
yeah,
for hours and hours and hours and hours until you start to learn, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um and I think that's most people's fear, and
yeah,
I can even say it's mine too. But the difference between me when it comes to fears, that I tackle my fears head on, and a lot of people when they get scared of something and something is unfamiliar to them, they
yeah.
don't really, or if they do approach it, they approach it with caution, you know.
Okay.
um
What's if let's take it for example. What's some of your favorite meals or favorite, not even meals, just think about your favorite foods in general. Don't think about it as a whole meal. Like what's some of your favorites?
my favorites, I tweeted this out 2 days ago. I said,
Uh,
man, potatoes are really fucking good. I really like potatoes, yo. I
yeah,
really
yeah,
enjoy potatoes. I don't care if they're mashed potatoes. I don't care how they come. I just enjoy potatoes, right? I
yeah.
know that I like potatoes. I know that I do not like cucumbers, right?
Okay.
I know that I enjoy broccoli, but I also know that I do not like mushrooms. I
Yeah,
don't like honeydew melon, you know.
yeah.
But I eat bananas,
Okay.
potatoes, um, strawberries, grapes. Um, I mean, you name it. I eat a bunch of vegetables, broccoli,
Yeah.
string beans. I eat a lot of spinach, a lot of trail not trail mix. I said trail mix. A lot of spring mix.
Okay.
Um, but I eat a lot of that. I do eat a lot of that stuff, and I have changed. I have changed my diet tremendously
Mm-hmm.
because at one point a lot of people didn't know because they like really didn't see me personally. But at one point when I was down here in Atlanta, I was pushing 200 pounds
Yeah.
at one point,
Uh-huh.
and one day I just decided I'm like, you know what? The entire America overeats,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
We
For
they
sure.
we overeat. So if you can get that in your head and you can say, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to be like the rest of America.
Yeah.
I want to try something different." So I started trying something different and I was still eating meat, but
Yeah.
everything that I got, I cut it in half and I only ate half of it. And I
Yeah.
saved the other half. Like if I ordered lunch and I ordered a sandwich and some fries, I would eat half of the sandwich and half of the fries, and I'd save the other half for dinner at eight
Okay.
o'clock. So I started cutting all of my portion sizes in half. Um, this was maybe 2, 3 years ago, pushing 200. Now I'm at a point where I went to the doctor 4 or 5 days ago, and I weigh
Mm-hmm.
156 pounds.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I have been doing has been working, but I haven't
Yeah.
implemented a vegan lifestyle. I haven't implemented a pescatarian lifestyle. I haven't implemented a plant-based lifestyle, and I
Yeah.
want to. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
So like it sounds like you're on the right track, man. You just gotta start where you at. Like you like plant-based foods. You like potatoes. I eat potatoes quite often, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I take some potatoes and I bought um I just figured out how to cut them right. And I would take them, sprinkle a little olive oil on it, and I bought some truffle salt.
Okay.
It was fancy. I went and bought some truffle salt. Threw the truffle salt on there and then threw them in the oven. I would bake them. And then that was bomb. And then I found the truff hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
You give me truff hot sauce and some ketchup and some potatoes, and I'm good. That's it.
Yeah, and you eat your potatoes
And
just like I eat my potatoes, hot sauce and ketchup.
yeah, you gotta have it. We're
Yeah.
from the same city, so you know what I mean. It's the same. Right?
Right.
So I just started off there. To be honest, man, right before I got on the phone with you, I made my own oodles and noodles. So basically, it's brown rice noodles with some vegan bouillon or vegan seasoning, basically vegetable broth, and a little soy sauce. And I'm back. It's noodles and noodles, just simple
Right.
stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was just real quick. Or, for example, my son loves this red pesto olive sauce, and we take brown rice noodles and we throw it on that, and he loves it, and with a smoothie, and he's full.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My son is 2, and he's been plant based his whole life, and that was something we was worried about when we asked our doctor. We was like, "How's it gonna be plant based being pregnant?" And they was like, "You know what? We have plenty of Indian population that do it. You'll be fine."
Right.
My son came out 9 pounds, bro,
Mm.
which is like a pound and a half over the average. And the
Mm-hmm.
first year, he was in the 99 percentile on everything. I just had a chunky baby, you know what I
Right.
mean? Because we found, so that goes, let me go back. We found a superfood called shilajit, right? And then shilajit is this molecule called fulvic acid. So shilajit, what happens is millions of years ago, the Himalayan mountains pretty much crashed into each other. And all that plant material got trapped in the mountains. And every summer it oozes out, right? So they found like these animals, I think it was the goats that were going up every year and licking it. And then coming back down full of energy. They're like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So over time they did research on it and they found out that it's pretty much super concentrated minerals, pretty much electrolytes, Gatorade, if you think about it that way, electrolytes.
Right.
And then they found out, and in that was this thing called fulvic acid, where it takes the food that you eat, and makes it so small that it goes directly into the cells. And then it takes out everything that's bad. They call it chiclation. I hope I'm saying that word right. And it takes everything out that's bad, and it pretty much excretes it out your system as quickly as possible. So not only does it put nutrition into your system and your cells directly, it
Mm-hmm.
goes into cells and cleans it out. So it's like a maid service, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get it out of there. And then one of our doctors, we found like a holistic doctor that was like, yo, have you ever heard about fulvic acid? Like, yeah, we already own that. It was like, good, continue. You know what I mean? And I think our overall health regimen allowed our son to come out healthy baby. Not saying that other people don't have 9-pound babies, but
Right.
as a plant feeder, that lets you know he got plenty of protein. You know what I mean?
Right.
My son is super intelligent, man. It's crazy.
Word.
So I think that overall thing helps. And then if you start your kids, not saying people don't do it already, but if you start your kids on that diet, it becomes second nature.
While we're on that subject, I want to take the time to give you your flowers while you are still on this earth. You are breaking a generational curse right in front of your eyes.
Appreciate it.
You are
Appreciate it.
breaking a generational curse right in front of your eyes. And that is what I stand for as an African American man living in this society. Like, um, it's just so important because for years and years and years and years, our families just didn't get it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at some point, somebody has to break that generational curse. You know, I was raised on oodles and noodles and Kool-Aid, and I used to when I had pancakes, we had Aunt Jemima syrup. Everybody know
Yeah.
about Aunt Jemima syrup, butter on
Yeah.
everything. And it was just the stuff that we were eating. Even when I go home sometimes
Yeah.
and I go to my mom's house and I look in the fridge and it's like,
Yeah.
man, I don't eat half of this stuff no more. I don't eat
Yeah.
90% of this stuff anymore, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
And like the milk, I drink almond milk now. I never thought I'd be drinking almond milk.
Yeah.
Um, and
It's good, though, ain't it?
it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's actually good. And I
You
didn't
hit.
I didn't think I was gonna like it. And I think a lot of
Yeah.
our people need to just try some shit. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
just try
Yeah.
it. Just try it. You
Yeah.
don't know what you like until you know what you don't like. So
True.
just try some shit. If you thought about trying almond milk, but you was like, nah, I ain't really on it. They even have other type of milks out. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
almond milk.
Yeah.
Um,
Hemp milk,
mhm.
soy milk. They got everything. Rice
Yeah.
milk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I want to take the time out and just congratulate you for breaking a generational curse. That's something that I would like to do when I have kids. I would love
Yeah.
for my kids to be vegan day one, plant
Yeah.
based. I would
Yeah.
love that. But in
Yeah.
order for me to get there, I have to do the groundwork. I have to start with
Yeah.
myself. I can't have my
Yeah.
kid being vegan and I'm still eating chicken and beef patties and shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to take the time, and everybody in the chat is giving you your praises and
Appreciate it.
congratulations, like for
Appreciate it. I
breaking this
appreciate that.
generational curse. So I just wanted to give you flowers while we're here. We're gonna start doing that often on every segment from now on. Chat, we're gonna start giving everybody their flowers while they're still here. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's very dope, man, and yeah, that's super dope. That's somewhere that I aspire to be that I'm not at yet. And maybe you can
You
help me
will.
with this journey. Maybe I can read your
Yeah.
book and a light switch will flip, you know?
You will, bro. You already there. Just eat more of what you already doing. That's it. You good. You already there, man. We make collard greens, bro. You can make a peanut butter jelly sandwich if you want to be convenient. You know what
Right,
I mean? It's you already there. Mac and cheese. We still make mac and cheese.
right.
Um, my wife found this recipe. I mean, I got recipes for everything on my Pinterest, and I'll send you the links. But she made these salmon cakes, bro, out of chickpeas. It was crazy. When I first seen it, I'm like, yo, what's this? But when I tasted it, it was hitting because the best way to explain it is the most of the time when you enjoy something, it's the plants that make it taste good. You know what I mean? And she found like these sea vegetables that you put in there that make it taste like crab because
Right,
it comes from the sea. You know what I mean?
right.
So if you think about it, like when you go get barbecue chicken, it's the barbecue that hit, right? And that's plants. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Most people don't like meat by itself. You got to throw some salt on it.
Got
That's
to.
you know what I mean. It's it's the plants and minerals that give it that flavor, right? You get a burger, the main thing to hit is the onions, the pickles, the ketchup, the mustard.
Right,
That's all plants in watered form or whatever you want to call it. Like the ketchup is just basically a tomato smoothie that you put on your burger.
Right. Do you
So
eat any special type of ketchup, or is all ketchup? Because I know
so
some
the
ketchup
ketchup,
has preservatives and shit in it, right?
yeah. So a lot of them has that high fructose corn syrup in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the one that we eat has agave as a sweetener.
Okay.
And
Okay.
agave ain't nothing but a plant, man, that they just make sweet.
Can you
It's
do you mind sharing the
sweet.
name of that ketchup so I can put it in the
Um,
chat? Do you know it offhand or no?
I
Or
don't know
no?
if I don't know off the top of my head, but I think I mean I don't want to give you the wrong name, but I get it from Whole Foods, and it's
Okay.
like it's maybe 50 cents more than your average ketchup.
Okay. So
You know what I mean?
you're every time you go to a grocery store, you're not going to Walmart anymore. You're not going to Target anymore. You're not going to Publix. You go to Whole Foods for everything now.
So to be honest, bro, I haven't been in a Walmart in years.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been in a Fresh Pride in years. You know what I mean?
Hey, to everybody. Hey, I know it's
Yeah,
a lot of people watching the show that don't know what Fresh Pride is, but
yeah.
yeah, go ahead, man.
You got to be from the bottom to know what Fresh
Yeah.
Pride is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I ain't been in those places in years, bro. I go so like there's three main restaurants or grocery stores. I say restaurants and grocery stores because they both have food ready. So out here in the DMV area, I go to Whole Foods and this place called Mom's Organic, right? Mom's Organic got the Naked Lunch Bar where they got fresh juices that they'll make to order. They got a hot salad bar. They got buffalo cauliflower tacos that we get, and they got all types of food, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's fresh, it's local, it's good, and it's a health food store. So pretty much anything that you can get at Whole Foods, you can get it at Mom's as well. Um, I think sometimes Whole Foods has the better deals because they partner with Amazon,
Right.
and once they partner with Amazon, the deals got better. Because when they partnered with Amazon, I was in Whole Food. I mean, I was in Hawaii, and the bananas would cost like 149. But once they partnered, everything became cheaper. And then so in Hawaii, the place that we go to all the time is called Down to Earth. It's pretty much a Mom's, a small health food store in Hawaii where you can get those same Impossible burgers or whatever. They got vegan ice cream milkshakes. They got everything, man. So there's so many alternatives to what you want, what you eat now that's not considered healthy that you can get on the plant-based side. You know what I
Right.
mean? I got vegan. I like every now and then my son get a vegan ice cream sandwich made out of almond milk. You know what I mean? Almond milk ice cream.
That is crazy, yo. That is
So you can
crazy.
get whatever you want. We try not to do the processed foods as much as possible, but like once or twice every other day, man, that processed food ain't gonna hurt you because 90% of what I'm eating is fresh. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm even at the level where we started a garden. So I go back there. I got some cucumbers. My sister-in-law made some fresh pickles. You know what I mean?
I was
And it was
just
just
about to ask you, do you grow your own food?
yeah. So this is my second year of growing. This is my second growing season. The spark started in Hawaii because in Hawaii they give you, if you ask for it, they give you a community garden. They give you a plot of land to grow,
Mm-hmm.
and everything grows on that volcanic land, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had for the first time um, fruit that I had never seen before, and I got interested in how they were like growing it. You know what I mean? So I started there with just small stuff. I started with like an avocado. It didn't go far because I had nowhere to plant it, but I just wanted to start it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is my second season, and every year I get better. So last year I just started with like 2 raised flower beds. This year I bought a big one. Next year I think I'm about a whole greenhouse and do
Okay.
it. So like I go get my kale. This year I had tomatoes. I grow 5 watermelon. I got a banana tree. And this banana tree is called ice cream banana. So it tastes like vanilla ice cream and it has a vanilla ice cream consistency. So like if you freeze it, blend it up, man, it would be vanilla ice cream. You wouldn't even know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's taking it to a whole nother level, man. When I think about what they're doing with the vegan community, with the plant-based community especially, is that I feel like this is going first of all, this wave is
Yeah.
so strong right now that I feel like it's gonna take over.
Yeah.
This is gonna be this is going to be huge. And a lot of people, once this becomes huge and it starts being on the news and a lot more people start talking about it, I feel like everybody is going to flock
Yeah,
to this wave of
yeah,
being healthier, being more active, watching the foods that they put in their body, watching all the meat that they consume, and I feel like it's just gonna create another generation of people who are healthier and live longer
yeah,
and less diseases. You know, we are trying to get off of the medicines. Um,
yeah,
and do everything the right way, the healthy way, the way that
yeah,
I feel like in my own personal opinion, and not to get political, but the way that I feel like God intended for us to eat. You
yeah.
know.
And they talk about that in the book, right? When you talk about disease, and he said there's 4 reasons why you get disease, right? And those 4 reasons is one is too much toxins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays we live a lifestyle where we're not getting fresh air, we're not going outside, we're not getting vitamin D, and then the air and the air that we actually consume once we get out is full of pollution and toxins, right?
Right.
Um, and then we consume a lot of toxins unconsciously, right, in our food. So, and then another thing it says, he says you're nutrient deficient, right? So you're lacking minerals, right?
Right.
The mineral, the minerals is what gives you energy. That's the electricity, right?
Mm-hmm.
The vitamins is the spark or the catalyst. It's the enzyme, right? That
Mm-hmm.
sparks that electricity, right? It ignites it. You know what I mean? So we're mineral deficient, right? Because we're not eating alkaline foods, right? So
Right.
alkaline means mineral rich foods, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
when you say you want to be alkaline, you want to be mineral rich, right? You want
Right.
to have more electricity or more electrolytes.
Right.
Then the other thing was he said electromagnetic chaos. So that pretty much means like this cell phone is giving off a signal, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they did a CT scan or they did scans of people's phone, I mean, people's brains as soon as they took their phones off their head, and the amount of radiation that they're putting on their face or in their pockets is causing testicular cancer, right? Cell phones ain't been out long enough for us to have enough research to understand that it's causing cancers, right? Or it's just becoming to the point where we're starting to get that and we're starting to see the effects of it now. But they have um, electromagnetic pretty much protection. So like when you at your computer, you got all of that electricity right there that's causing frequency, and it's pretty much like little microwaves. Think about like a microwave that's making your cells move or trigger at a different rate than they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about the EMF protector, right? Electromagnetic frequency protector, right? So, like I said, when my wife got pregnant, I put one by her desk. So when she's working from home, she's protected. And at that time, my son, before he even hits the earth, he's protected.
Right.
I put one under my son's bed. So when he goes to sleep, he's good. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then the last thing he says is talking about stress, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you learn how to manage those 4 things, then you can pretty much learn how to mitigate any disease. Because the disease or what we think is disease is just a symptom of something that's not optimating that. I mean, pretty much not operating at full potential in your body.
Right.
So like before you even get to disease, there's giving you signs and symptoms that like something ain't right, bro. If you get a headache is not normal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think chimpanzees walk around and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or because if you look at animals in nature, they don't really get diseases that we get to we domesticate them, right?
Right.
So you just gotta think about it from that perspective. If you learn how to manage those 4 things, you don't see a bird wake up like, dang, I gotta go to work. You know what I mean? Hitting that
Right.
alarm clock. They eating they eating fresh foods and vegetables all day. They ain't walking around on their cell phone.
Right.
They want to call their boys. They done with the hooty hoo. Birds come out. Everybody come out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just those things. And I mean, at this point, you're not gonna put down your computer and your technology. That's impossible. But you can walk around with an EMF protector in your pocket. You know what I mean?
What do they? Can you
Um,
give us an example of what they look like? Are they small or is it?
so it's a mineral basically called shungite that pretty much mitigates those electromagnetic frequencies. I can grab one.
So now
You give
take
me
your
time.
time. I can Google
Uh,
one and then put one on the
uh,
screen right now.
so what I'll do is I'll send you my Amazon store, and I got all that there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, and I'll let the chat people in the chat. I mean, if you get a chance, you'll send it to them as well. And I have all those EMF protectors in there, right? I got all that information there. If you look up Aisha's source, no, look up Shieldite.
Okay.
And when you get a chance to look up Shieldite, they got the EMF protectors there. And they can be as small as a bracelet. I got a little pyramid that I take in my and I put in my pocket. Yeah, man. If you just look up EMF protector, you can just put in EMF protection, and there's so many sources out there that'll just protect you. You know what I mean? You just need one on your desk.
Okay. All
Just think
right.
about it. Like a lot of people, where do you put your phone at night?
At night, I'm actually a little
Yeah.
different. So I put my phone. So my bed is here, and I'll take
Yeah.
my phone and I'll plug it in that wall over there on the
Yeah.
floor.
Okay.
So I don't keep it. It's not. I don't keep it with me. I keep it away
All right.
from me actually, and sometimes I'll leave it down here,
Yeah.
if I don't feel like being bothered. But I never go to sleep with my phone on me ever.
Well, that's good. That's good. Because a lot of people sleep with it by their head on their nightstand. You
Oh
know what I mean?
yeah, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. I have a patience. I'm in this area of my life right now where I'm learning patience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I don't have patience for I first of all I keep my phone on silent,
Okay.
24/7, 365, because some about noises, little small
Yeah.
noises and shit that I just
Yeah.
can't. It just triggers me for whatever reason. So
Okay.
whenever my phone buzzes or whenever it bring, like I don't like that. So I keep it away
Yeah.
from me as much as possible, and I always keep it on silent.
Okay.
Um, but
That's good.
yeah,
That's one way of eliminating stress, right?
yeah,
You
definitely.
don't get you don't get that stress response. Do you wake up to alarm clock or you just wake up regular?
I never wake up. I never set my alarm. I wake up
Yeah.
on my own every morning.
See, that's that freedom that we all need to get to. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because most people start their day off with stress, right? Oh,
right,
let me get up. You know what I
right.
mean? That
And I,
alarm will scare you, bro. It'll scare
yeah,
you.
it will. Yeah, for sure. And you know what, man? I've noticed that my life is changing. Right when I remember like 10 years ago, one of my homies, we were talking, and I was telling him about how I had an alarm clock, and he was like, "You got an alarm clock?" Man, I
Yeah.
wake up around the same time every day, and my body just does it for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
"What the hell you mean? Like, I need an alarm clock." And this was 10 years ago, and I
Yeah.
understand it now. I
Yeah.
understand it now. As we get older and as we grow, I don't know what happens with our brains or our bodies, but every day now, I seem to wake up on my own around the same fucking time every morning,
Yeah.
and I
Same here.
notice that I don't, sometimes I don't recommend this for people. And I'm gonna explain why. I do this video game stuff, right? And in the morning is when I really enjoy getting my video game streaming sessions in because my
Yeah.
brain is fresh,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And when I'm playing these competitive video games, I need all the brain power I can possibly have because I have to figure out how am I going. I play a lot of first person shooter games, and it
Yeah.
requires thinking. Whenever you come across somebody, all right, y'all got to fight. How am I going to beat this person? I have to think about whatever tricks, whatever bag of tricks that I got, I need to bring it out because I need to figure out how I'm going to beat this person. I did a study on
Yeah.
myself and realized that I play the best in the morning
Okay.
before 8 a.m. I'm talking about
Yeah.
like 6:30 ish. I'm hopping on the game streaming. And I
Yeah.
recommend that people do not, as soon as you wake up, do not grab your cell phone.
Yeah.
I would recommend that people do not grab your cell phone. I don't know what it is, the study behind it. I can't prove it because I'm not a fucking scientist, but it's something about grabbing your cell phone as soon as you wake up, which kind of fucks with your brain a little
Yeah.
bit, and it can kind of throw off your day if you allow it to. Have you experienced that before also?
That's interesting. I need to experiment with that. I've never tried it. I think I've always looked at my phone.
Yep. Yep. A
Um,
lot of people do. It's just second
yeah.
nature.
I think I need to experiment with that. I need to get to that point. I think I'm gonna try it, man. I ain't got no. I mean, I'm gonna try it for
Yeah,
sure.
try it
These
for
next couple
sure.
months.
And you'll
Yeah,
see, try it for a little bit, and you'll see you may not be able to pinpoint exactly what it is, but you'll
yeah,
understand what I'm talking about. You'll see,
yeah,
you're like, okay, all right, I feel different.
yeah,
This is what Leno was talking about. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Um,
Speaking of these games, right? I got a little funny story, right?
uh-huh.
You've been doing these games for a minute, bro.
Right.
I remember the first time I ever seen somebody play Guitar Hero was you. I came to your room one day, and I'm like, bro, this boy is really playing guitar out here. You know what I mean? It was on top level. He got that geeky, geeky, geeky. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I was mesmerized, bro. I'm like, yo, he is really playing guitar out here. Every
Right.
note he was hitting it. I ain't never seen that like that before. So I tried to, like, my sister had it one day, and I played it. And I played it on beginner level, and I was trash. But I was seeing how you was really. I'm like, yo, he could probably play guitar for real.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, man.
you've
Yeah.
been doing it for a minute. That was like 2008,
Yeah, it's been a
9.
long time, man. And when I quit, when I stopped doing music once I moved down here, because I moved down here initially for music, but it got to a point where I just stopped doing it because it wasn't lucrative enough, and I just
Yeah,
started shifting all my focus elsewhere. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because I don't know anything else but music. And I'm
yeah,
like, you know what? I do. I know
yeah,
video games, and I actually been
yeah,
playing video games longer than I've been studying music.
yeah,
So let me
yeah,
apply that. And like you said, a lot of people don't know, but I've been playing video games for 25 years at least.
yeah,
You know, that's
yeah.
longer than I've been doing music. And one of my homies actually called me when he saw me make that transition from music to video games.
Uh-huh.
Um, he called me as soon as I picked up the phone. He said, "Yo, this is it."
Yeah.
I said,
That's
"We,
all.
we
That's how you start the conversation.
yeah, that's how he started the conversation." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Yo, this is it. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This video games." And I say that to say a lot of times, and we're getting ready to wrap it up for the chat. A lot of times that whatever you think that you're supposed to be doing, it may not be your calling,
Yeah,
right? Um, I had my heart and my mind and my soul set on the music industry
yeah,
and being an artist and focusing on being the biggest and the best artist in the world. And I just wouldn't quit. You know, if you
yeah,
ask anybody about me in my days of high school or college, you talking about if you say if you bring my name up, oh you Leno, you talking about the singer? Like
yeah,
people know me for singing, right?
yeah, for sure.
And I had to put that down in order for God to bless me what He had for me.
Yeah, for sure. For
And
sure.
for everybody out there who's watching this show, whatever you think is best for you, it may not be, right? God has a plan for everybody in this world, right? So whatever you think is best, it may not be. So if you get to a point where you feel like um you're going in a circle, you're not making any progress, like you're in a hamster wheel, I want you to take the time out and sit back and analyze your life and think about a calling that God may have for you, because I knew it was something else. After a while, you just know. Like I was doing music and I'm like, you know what? I don't really think God has music in my life's plans. And
Yeah,
I knew that, but I kept doing music anyway, trying to go
yeah,
against what God had for me.
yeah,
And I say that to say to all my people out there, what you think is your calling may not be your calling, and it's going to be hard to let go of that. It's
yeah,
very tough to let go of that. But if you can let go of that, God will bless you tremendously with 100 times more and better things than you had before when you thought that you were doing what you were supposed to do in life.
I got a question for you before we wrap up based on that.
Uh huh.
Which did you love more? Sport, I mean playing games, or music because you thought that was your way out?
That is a good question, and I, I've never been asked that question before, but I can tell you the answer right now. I dropped music because I just felt like I wanted to shift my attention and put it on something else.
Yeah.
Once I dropped the music and I picked up the video games, I was thinking about this video game shit yesterday actually, and I had this epiphany. I was sitting here in my computer working, and I said, you know what? I had opened up a program, a video editing program, and I said to myself, I said, yo, I fucking love this shit, yo. I
Mm-hmm.
really fucking love this shit. Just sitting at my computer, just playing with programs and software and doing graphics and like just learn. I really love this shit. To the point, every single day, not a day goes by where I don't think about music
Mm-hmm.
while I'm doing video games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I'm at a point in my life now where I have a certain amount of energy and I use it, I spend it wisely, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I dictate where it goes. And 99% of my energy goes into video games. So I would probably have to say, because even before I started doing music, I was playing video games. So if I had to say which one I loved the most, it would, I would, unfortunately, and I know it's a lot of people who probably looking at me sideways right now, but I would have to say video games.
Yeah. And the reason why I asked that question is what I realized is whatever you love to do, you can find a way to make it your means of income.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever it is you love, like you truly love to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this vegan plant-based lifestyle. That's just at this point, it's my lifestyle, right? You know what I mean? I don't even think about it. That's just what I enjoy it. I love being fit, right? So like had I known what I know now, I probably could still be playing football. I
Right.
thought football was my way out, right?
Right.
But
Yeah,
I didn't know what
exactly.
I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. You know what I mean? And it got to the point where when I got there freshman year, I realized, oh, it's a wrap, bro. You're not elite. But had I known about this plant-based lifestyle then, I think I would have been elite. Like to the point where once I first went plant-based, man, I was like, I used to run like a 11-minute mile and a half. I went vegan without changing anything, a 9-minute mile and a half.
Shaved
So
on
like,
2 minutes.
yeah, like just moving. And then my body fat percentage went down. So I was at one point I was 185, 5% body fat because I got it tested at our gym. And at that point I wanted to see how low I can get, right? Just to see how far I can push it, right? And then people at home was like, bro, you look like you sick. Like, you all right, man? You good? You healthy? Like, nah, actually, this is the best I ever felt. You know what I mean? And
Right.
people didn't understand that, right? So then even with the photography, right? Like I love it. You know what I mean? At this point, like I would do it for free.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have done it for free. Sometimes I do it for free. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's because there's a mutual benefit and I just want something out. Like I love it. You know what I mean? So I watch YouTube and I'm looking at ways to get better, right? So I'm
Right.
sitting in the house today, I'm looking at ways to get better. Like I'm constantly learning. So I listen to music as well, but like if I'm riding in the car, I'm listening to a podcast. You know what I mean? Some way, in some form of fashion, I'm always trying to learn more about what I love. And I ask that because no matter what you love to do, I feel like you can make it a successful platform for you if you just go after your passion, right?
Right.
This what we have here, this platform. We're speaking about roses, man. We got to give you your roses and your flowers while you're here because you gave us this platform for us to be able to talk, for people to understand. You never know, we might change someone's life right now.
Right.
I mean, if it's yours or mine's or whatever, somebody's life is changing from this conversation, man. So this platform that you created, it's awesome, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate one brother giving another brother his props. And it seems weird because it doesn't happen a lot and we need to do it more.
Yeah,
You know, like
we got to keep up.
even accepting, like I've been doing a lot of learning about myself over these last 3 to 4 years. And I'll
Yeah,
also learn that I have a problem. I have trouble, not a problem. I have trouble accepting love. I have trouble
yeah,
accepting compliments like that. Cause like it's
yeah,
still like even when you just said that to me, it feels a little weird, but I
yeah,
appreciate the fuck out of it because I know it's
yeah,
love. you
Yeah.
know, but it's
Yeah.
just like the way
Yeah.
that we have been conditioned, the way that we came up, it just feels weird for another man, one man to be giving another African American man products, because too
Yeah.
often, I said products, giving them
Pop.
their flowers, you know,
Yeah.
because too often we see bashing, we see fighting, we see killing, we see hating on each other,
Yeah.
and the world needs more love.
Yeah. And I
Uh,
think as black men, I know for me, I never was taught how to love another black man
yes,
until I had my son.
right, right.
You know what I mean? And that taught me how to love another black man. Like it's okay to tell another black man you love him.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is why I like dealing with people like this, because they just understand it is okay. It is okay
Yeah.
to tell your brother that you love him.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah. And it still
okay.
it feels awkward to me. Like I still get a little goosebumps, like I gotta force it, but I need to tell people because you know what
Yes.
I mean. We ain't promised tomorrow,
Right.
so we gotta tell them. We gotta tell them that we love them while we're here. You know what I mean? And I learned when I had my son, I learned what it was like to be. I mean, to truly love someone, and especially another black man. Like he's not a man, but it's another. I mean, because I didn't get that growing up. You know what I mean?
Me either.
So having a son, it definitely taught me that. You know what I mean? And it teaches you true love, like you build a relationship with somebody, like for example my wife, I had to build that, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you have a kid, it's instant, bro.
Right.
And then that teaches me, like, if I can love him, I can give him a kiss and then not be homo, you know what I mean?
Right.
Not saying that homo is the wrong thing, I don't even want to say that's bad, because and not feel or have that negative stigma behind it, right? Because even that word homo, that's a stigma that we've been
Right.
taught.
For sure.
And I try not to say that, because it's disrespectful, bro.
Right.
But having that love for him allows me to love other black men and be peaceful, and like it's all peaceful when we see each other.
Word. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. It's good. My brother, it has been a great pleasure to have you on the show. We really appreciate you for stopping by today and just dropping us with so much knowledge about all the different topics that we covered today.
Yeah.
You gave me flowers. I gave you flowers. We talked about a bunch of different subjects that um, this video was going on YouTube immediately so that people can turn around and watch it. And like we said, the hope is even if one person sees this and decides to change their life, you know,
Yeah.
we have done our job and we are going to continue to do our job. I want to thank you so much for joining the show. Therapy Thursdays. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Devin Mickens. What's your website? DevinMickensPhotography.com?
Yeah. So to be honest, if you want to reach out to me even about the vegan lifestyle, plant-based lifestyle, reach out, and I'll give you you got my email, and then we'll just put it in the notes so that way people can reach out when they see this. I'll respond. Just reach out, because I didn't have no resources. I was just doing it all wrong when I first got out there. And I feel like we need to do this again. So, because we only touched the surface.
A
Like we
little
need to
bit
get
of
more.
it. Yeah, I feel like
You know
that
what I mean?
too. For sure.
So we'll do it again. We'll have more time to dive even deeper. If you'll have me, I'll definitely come back and we'll dive even deeper.
For sure. I definitely have you. I definitely have you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Devin Mickens. Devin, I want you to hold on for the line for a second. I'm about to get ready to end the show. Just hang tight 1 second. We appreciate
Gotcha.
each and every one of you guys for tuning into the show. Thank you so much. This is Devin Mickens. I am Faith. We are out. You will catch this video on YouTube probably, what is it? It is 8:18 p.m. now. I'm getting ready to upload it as soon as we get off. Peace, love, and faith.
Yeah. They know. They know. Yeah. LA